Welcome back, guys. We had a pretty convincing victory coming in for Kinguin on map number 1 with a 16-9 going in their favor. Of course, that was the map choice of Sprout as well, and that does not bode well for them now. Of course, Train going to be coming up next, a map that Kinguin did choose, a map that they are very comfortable on in general and tend to get some pretty big wins on. And I'm very worried for Sprout. We said going into Nuke that we were worried anyway. That was the map that we put for them in general as the one being favored. We said, okay, sure, they might be able to pick up Nuke. It's the series in general that we worry about. But Nuke, nope, didn't look very impressive at all about him. Then again, Mozinho did go off. He went absolutely insane. As we said, he ended up on 31 kills, had over 20 towards the end of that first half, so he cooled down eventually, but then everyone else stepped it up, and just overall, Kinguin looked so strong in that first map.
You know what was interesting was that Favim was the top player for Sprout as well, dropping at 20 kills. So, you know, he said he was going to fix himself, said he was going to look at what went wrong and make sure he was on the top of his game coming into the minor quals, and that's exactly what he did. Problem is, it wasn't enough. The rest of the team needs to step it up as well. We need to see a different Sprout coming into this map because it is a big challenge up against Kinguin on Train, considering the results of the previous map. I'm not too sure how I feel about Sprout's potential, I suppose, coming into this. They could definitely take it, but it's really not going to be easy for them, and their mentality's got to be shattered after that previous match.
Yeah, it's not like Train is a bad map for Sprout. It is one that they are definitely capable of playing, but the problem really is just for Kinguin, it is a very strong map. Even just in general, if you look at kind of those players, look at Taz, it's a map that he's always loved. He's great at just anchoring that B-bomb sites where he always shows up. I think most of the time when you see Train coming out, you know that you're going to get a solid performance from Taz. So coming into this one, I'm just really worried. I think we could be looking at a very similar scoreline in all honesty, and obviously with this being the elimination match, if Sprout lose this one, they're out. Their hopes and dreams of being able to make it to this major are done with, and I know for a fact, of course, NATO Safix, that is what he aims for. He really wants to make it to a major. They got close on the previous one at the Face It major. I think he was going to dye his hair or something if they qualified. I can't remember exactly what he was doing, but I think there was a little bit of a bet on.
I wonder if there's any stakes for this one.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he was going to dye his hair green. It was the Sprout colors he was going to go for.
Oh, right, nice.
So that would have been interesting.
I like it.
But yeah, I'm very worried now coming into this one. I guess one positive is, of course, with it being the map choice of Team Kinguin, Sprout should be starting off on the CT side. And that's somewhere where NATO Safix, alongside Dennis, of course, who likes to pick up the secondary up, they are going to be given a chance to maybe try and shine through in this one. Yeah,
definitely. There's potential there on the CT side to get that op setup rolling. I still feel like Kinguin overall will be the stronger team coming into this. They've got the momentum. I mean, look, everything's been going their way recently. Sure, the X-Base Soldiers game wasn't too great yesterday, but you look at the fact that they're obviously flying through to EPL. They've got themselves a pretty good performance there, obviously taking down VP, so they've got that momentum rolling for them. And now in that previous matchup as well, taking out Sprout on their map pick, they're coming onto their home ground. It's a solid setting for them right now. I think they're going to be in high spirits all around, knowing that they have that buffer. Even if we go to Dust 2, that's probably going to be a heavily contended map. So either way, I think Kinguin, obviously with the best chance to take this, they've got two opportunities across two maps.
That's how it tends to work, Mitch, yeah.
It is indeed. That's how best of threes work. If you win one map...
That's also how maths works.
You need one out of the next two. There you go.
I thought you would know that. You do maths in university. You're not good at maths?
No.
You were doing maths in university. What were you doing, quantum mechanics?
Ah, sure, look. Don't have to be good at it to do it.
That's true, but you probably should be. But yeah, hopefully we'll be ready to get into this one soon. It is going to be a very interesting one, of course. Team Kinguin looking very strong. We said it, we were expecting it to still be a very close game. As we said before, of course, the last few times these teams played, they've all been very close. I think that's the first time in like a couple of months where Sprout didn't actually get double digits in a map against Kinguin.
Yeah, that's a solid shout. I think it may be, because generally these series, like we said, have been like 16-14, 16-13s. It's not been a one-sided performance, and certainly not one-sided halves, which Kinguin managed to pull out of the bag. And you can't really pin it on, okay, Sprout didn't wake up, you know, they were asleep coming into the start of it, because they had a strong start. It was just the second half that fell apart, so they were warmed up. Looking at this, though, we're into the Pistola round, and Kinguin have already taken the opening kill. That's Miniz taking down Favin. The trades go in as they barrel over towards Ivy. A choke point. The Glocks like to spam on through and find the kills in that kind of situation. That's where they thrive.
Yeah, nice shot from Dennis. He's actually brought this up to a 3K already. Been able to somehow pull it into a favorable position for Sprout. Meniz and Mozinho are still going to be alive, though, as they have actually managed to get themselves a bit of control. Mozinho kind of left on his own, though. Meniz trying to go back, has the bomb in his possession. If he falls, the round could be pretty much over. But he does actually manage to find that kill on Dennis. And with that now, he is left in a 1-on-2 after losing his teammate elsewhere. So looking to try and push forward towards the A-bomb site, it seems. As we do, of course, see Percy in towards Popdog. Meniz going to be able to find that one as well. A quick headshot, very snappy indeed with this USB. The final player in Popdog now being spotted out as well. But low health, he has to hit a quick headshot. Spitty taking this fight. The ammo becoming a bit of an issue as there is, I believe, only one bullet left in that clip for Meniz. And it's not even going to be needed as he does get shut down from behind. Shot in the back of the head.
Shot in the back of the head while jumping as well. That's a hard shot to hit.
You should change his name to my head, because then I could say, ow, my head. As we'd say in Ireland, if you hit your knee off something, ow, my knees.
Meniz. That's my favorite thing about his name. I always called him Meniz, then I heard you saying Meniz one day, and I was like,
I'm pretty sure.
Has he heard himself?
I've never been corrected.
I know, I'm most likely wrong. When it comes to pronunciation, it's definitely not my forte. For example, enchiladas. Looking at, well, if you just joined us, that's, yeah, screw
Forget
it.
about it.
Who cares? It's all right. People like, he pronounced it right, though. 5 versus 3.
The Hawker?
5 versus 3. Very weak opponents to be taken down by Percy here, but he gets lit down from above. Reitz managed to do the damage to him. Ro1 finishes him off, and at least that's one weapon dropped. So, you know, no armor on Kinguin. It really shouldn't be around that they get too much done in. They're up against a majority SMGs. Favin saving over the money to get himself an AWP. Well, I say himself, get NATO an AWP.
Yeah, I'd be confused if he kept that onto himself, but let's see. Ro1 with that MP9, if he can maybe pick up 1 or 2 kills with this, it'd be nice to build up some economy, but it's not possible. As you can see, Spitty already shutting him down. Taz does find one with the Glock, but problem is with the quick flank coming in, the bomb plant is not going to be allowed. It would have been nice to get the extra $800 per player. That also would have allowed for Meniz to get the op out into this round, but of course that doesn't happen, so they are going to be limited to just the 5 rifles, but it's still pretty decent. They get a good amount of utility to back things up. And as we can see, Sprout actually decided they want to go straight onto the double op setup. Dennis and NATO Safix are going to be rocking those. As I said, of course, Dennis does like to pick up that secondary op. It's always been something he's enjoyed doing, even just, as I said before, back on the Mouse Sports days, he used to pick that up alongside Chris J. And he definitely can be a very solid player, especially when he's on form. But let's see, they're looking to try and get aggressive. Dennis, we just mentioned him a moment ago, and of course he is going to go ahead and actually start things off. Takes down Reitz early on, and manages to find the man advantage for Sprout to work with.
Sprout in general, pretty good trained team, like we said. No shame in losing rounds to them. As Percy's holding down in Popdog, he's in a bit of trouble. That Molotov's going to push him on back. Oh no, he's not smoked the whole Molotov. So he's down to 30 HP, being ticked away by the flames. And you can see that they've got that double op setup though on the CT side. Potentially going to be helpful in pulling back that man advantage, you know, finding that easy 1 kill without the trades going through. But with the smokes going down on B, that certainly makes things a little bit more difficult. Got to rely on the spams coming through. Spitty, who's on front of the smoke, finds himself 1. Dennis up on top of the train lands another, and now all of a sudden 4v1. Ro1's all alone. They're picked apart, trying to make their way towards the bomb site. Ro1 has absolutely no chance. Yeah. Sprout come ahead 3-0.
Just being decimated. Dennis stepping it up. I just mentioned how when he's on form he can be very solid with that op, and he comes in and proves it to us really. It is going to be a 3rd round being found for Sprout, and of course with the off the back of that, rather, Team Kinguin are going to be forced back down to just pistols into this round. Should be able to maybe get some Kevlar to back it up. Of course, they'll have full loss bonus coming into the round afterwards. But as you can see, a pause being called. It gives them a bit of time to discuss what they're going to try and do. I guess their main focus will be on the upcoming round rather than this one. But of course, their goal here also being to try and get some damage done. And they've bought up a lot of utility, so that probably means they're not really going to get too much Kevlar. They do at least upgrade some pistols. But with 5 smokes and a flash, you'd imagine that that's probably going to be taken towards A, because you don't really need 5 smokes to execute on B, unless they want to try and pull off some sort of a fake, perhaps.
Yeah, Ro1 and Mozinho going up towards upper B. The whole logic there, obviously, you drop out the smokes from the window. towards the A-bomb site. The whole thing about that as well is like breaking that window early on kind of indicates to Sprout, okay, there's probably going to be some form of hit towards A. You saw NATO start the rotation over. They left Spitty as a connector anchor on B, a very passive B anchor, because they suspected with the windows breaking that it would be a hit. Again, more windows are breaking. But Sprout just going to stick into their 3-2 hold. NATO with the AWP is not going to have a quick rotation. It's almost better that Spitty's going to be the rotator here, because with the smokes going down, he'll be more useful. There's the wall of smokes. The bomb plant should now be possible. They've got to be careful as they go for it. Those spams coming on through. Spitty finds the kill with the AUG. Bomb plant going down. Molotov in play. Ro1 gets lit low. Spitty spamming through here on the AUGs, finding all the kills and all the damage as well. The dude must be near 500 damage in this round at this point. Third kill on the board as Ro1's left alone after Favin finds one. Dennis's feet are being tapped away. He's been shot. At least 3 toes are missing.
Elegance of Ro1 there after getting taken down.
Yeah, it was a graceful landing.
It was indeed. They may have not been able to find much in the round, but they ended it in style.
We can. We've little cards. We can hold up like points for them.
Rated. I'd give that one a 6.
6?
Yeah.
I like the form, though. I mean, I'd say a 7. A solid 7. Maybe even an 8. Where, you know, we'll do the, what is it, dancing on ice, they do 7.8 and stuff. As to how you get down to describing someone's dancing skills with, like, that level of accuracy, I really don't know. To me, it's either good or me.
An important round is going to be coming up, though, of course, Mitch. It is, at this point, 4-0 for Sprout. A double-up setup still going to be in play, but Maniz is going to find one now. This is the first stop he's been able to pull out, and we know, of course, he can have a lot of impact on this one as well. Neo Safik trying to get aggressive early on is going to be flashed back off at that angle and forced to go ahead and fall back into safety towards the B-bomb site, and, of course, in the process, giving up control of the B-halls towards Kinguin. Although this nade from Spitty could definitely do some damage. Getting prepared, I believe, to throw that over the top of the roof. Not going to go for it quite yet, and it's not really going to do too much, as he does actually, of course, wait a little bit too long to try that out. So for now, it is just a bit of a stalemate. Not too much damage to be done by either side, although Kinguin, with a bit of map control for themselves, will be pretty happy with what they've been able to find early on.
Still no opening pick, though, and they know that those AWPs are lurking. Sprout are starting to build up a decent economy now as well. It's time for Kinguin to get that damage in. This is a round where they can do it. Maniz has picked up an AWP. Molotov's going over towards the B bomb site. Nobody's going to be on top of that gray train anytime soon. The utility being thrown out, it's not yet being capitalized on with a push. Eventually, they do come out of a main. Favin spots one. Goes from the kill, but not able to land it. Does a lot of damage, though, onto Reeds. He's 1 HP. I mean, a 4v4 in that low HP certainly won't help as Ro1 gets dropped. 6 seconds on the clock. Bomb plans on B. 2-man defense, though, effectively.
Yeah, good job, though, coming in from Mozinho right there, being able to take down Spitty. It looked a little bit shaky initially, but look at this. Hang on, the flank is going to be coming in. Reed's able to catch Percy off guard from behind. He had no idea that this was going to be happening. Even with the 1 health, he's able to make that work. Mozinho going to go ahead and find NATO Safix as well. And with that, rather, Dennis doesn't really want much else to do with the remainder of this round. He's just going to back away and try and save this up over. It is going to be still a pretty solid buy coming into this next round. They'll get pretty much everything they want, but good job by Team Kinguin being able to pick up this round for themselves. Dennis should be able to save this up as well. Of course, Kinguin can't really afford to hunt it down. Oh, there's a Kiev sticker on that up for Dennis. A German upper, of course, played for alternate attacks at one point and then big.
Those are some big teams.
Ba-doom-tsh.
Hey. It's used far too much, specifically by us. But sure, look. Be grand. Looking at the Sprout situation right now, I think that they're in a nice spot, right? They're in that sweet spot where if they win this round, King would have no money, they've no loss bonus. They just get torn apart. Dennis with a very aggressive push up towards B on the ramp. Takes down Maniz. As the smoke goes in. Now going to be that passive hold from the CTs. Ro1 makes a little bit of noise on the ladder. Knows that now there'll be a player looking towards it. That's Percy. Oh, baits him out. I thought he was going to drop a flashbang down and then push, but doesn't decide to do that.
It was worthwhile though for him because he was able to get quite a lot of damage connected, so Percy should be pretty happy with that. Ro1 as well being a big name over on the Team Kinguin side, one of the players you would expect normally to be towards the top of the scoreboard. With him being brought low, it's going to kind of negate what effect he can have to open up the round in these next few seconds, as it looks like we do actually see Kinguin preparing for a bit of a B execute to come in. 3 of the players, at least out of the 4, are going to be preparing to push forward. Spitty, he's going to be holding this with an AUG, so up close it can be a little bit more difficult with the AUG, but let's see how it's going to go, as they are going to funnel out through the smoke and down the ramp. Already been able to find one. A quick trade at least being brought in by Reitz. He actually goes ahead and doubles down, as Dennis is also going to be sent to the graveyard alongside Spitty. The German duo are going to be eliminated quite swiftly, and now it's a 3v3, but the retake is going to be coming in. NATO Safix, as the smoke begins to dissipate, is going to be able to connect that shot onto Ro1. Reitz is going to have to continue to step it up, playing around the smoke, brings it up to the quad kill, and now it's all onto NATO Safix to try and save this round for Sprout. Is it going to happen is the question. USP in hand, he's doing the damage, eventually finds that kill to put a stop to Reitz and denies the ace, but he still has one more to find. He's up against Taz, doesn't know where he's positioned, and as he tries to check heaven, sadly that is indeed the wrong position. Taz down on the lower ramp. And
that is the round. Taz pushing up the ramp, caught out by NATO, but NATO won't be doing too much better than Taz as he gets eliminated by Zibomba after it blows up.
What was that?
Zibomba. It's like Tsar Bomba. I don't know. This is
go for damage.
This is based in I'm gonna say Russia.
Ukraine.
It's Ukraine, okay, because it has Lenin on the wall, I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure it's Ukraine, because I have a Russian friend and I asked him what the things on the wall meant and he said it was Ukrainian.
Oh, okay, there you go. I just saw Lenin on the wall and assumed, of course, they ruled over a pretty large portion of Europe, so it's not so obviously Russia. Well, there you go. I was trying like the Russian, the Tsar Bomba, biggest non-nuclear bomb ever dropped, I think. So big they decided to discontinue it because they said there's just no way that that you should ever drop that anywhere.
Oh, hang on, this is a very quick play. Let's see what the Zeus can get done. Spitty, a big fan of that weapon, able to find one kill onto Ro1, but as you can see, the trade's being brought back in. Kinguin are going to be able to advance onto that B-bomb site with pretty much a very easy... Oh, I was going to say, actually, there was a chance here for NATO Safix. Been able to catch Maniz off guard, but an instant trade comes in, so it's looking pretty good for Team Kinguin. They will be able to close this out, most likely, with still 3 players alive. Dennis not really having too much to work with, only a USP. If he could retrieve a weapon, he would indeed enjoy that, but I think the problem is both of the weapons being over on B. One just being dropped towards Oil Train and the other on the lower ramp, if I recall correctly. You can see, of course, his goal here to try and find a couple of exit frags, see if he can steal away one of those weapons.
Well, at least they can take comfort in the fact that they dropped so many of them. That's always an upside for you. Just to avoid letting them save over as much as possible. And to force the reinvestment, that's what it's all about. Taking a look at Sprout right now, losing the last 3 rounds. They're still able to get the AWPs out. 2 of them at that. Dennis, as
the wall bang.
Before,
shot him right in the knees.
Right in the knees. My knees!
That was very high-pitched. I had Hawkar Dinko beside me for a second.
Well, I mean, you get shot in the knees and tell me how deep your voice is then. Be very manly. Oh, my knees are sore.
Good point. But a good start coming in for Sprout. Not only did they find that damage, but they were also able to find the opening kill on the Taz. They do need to be cautious, though, because Percy's been brought low alongside Dennis, so it's still, of course, a recoverable position for Team Kinguin. Mozinho actually creeping out into the Olaf spot where he can potentially catch some players off guard. I don't know if anyone is actually spotting this position currently. Does need to be careful, and indeed. There we go, Dennis on the Yop, able to go ahead and actually catch Mozinho off guard before eventually the trade comes in from Ro1. And with that now, Kinguin are going to try and commit onto this A-bomb site. NATO Safix up close, going to be able to find a quick shot on the Maniz, but he is going to be traded once again. But Sprout, they'll be happy with that. They still have the man advantage. Percy in a good spot up in heaven to at least try and catch one player off guard and take him down. It is going to be difficult. It's Reeds now to try and lead the charge. Ro1, he's actually, I think, looking to try and shift his focus back over towards B with the bomb. Problem is, Spiddy's actually aggressive in the B hall, so if we don't see Ro1 winning this fight against Spiddy, the round is pretty much over and done with, unless he brings it down Pop Dog. And that doesn't seem to be the case. He does want to favor on towards B.
Yeah, this should be the round if Spitty finds the kill, and indeed he does. Spitty spitting bullets out up close as they find another round on the board for the CT side. Kinguin, see, they were losing a lot of players in most of these rounds, so their investment's going to be relatively difficult to come by in terms of like heavy hardware, I suppose. You got 2 AKs, a UMP, a Galil, and a Tech 9.
Yeah, it's not the greatest of buys for Team Kinguin. As you said, a Galil and a Tech 9 alongside a UMP from Ozinho. But I guess one positive is they do have a lot of utility. If any map is easy enough to make these buys work on the D side, I would say it's Train, just specifically because of that B bomb site. At least it's easy to get onto the site initially. Trying to hold it down can be more difficult, but if you have the utility, then you can go for a more aggressive afterplant. You can get a smoke in towards Connector, for example. You can push up close to that, and that's where you can become a little bit more effective. But it looks like they are going to go ahead and try and actually, at least initially, throw a bit of utility out towards A. I do want to ruin the dreams of everyone in the chat who likes saying it's a rerun. It's live, guys.
Why do people say it's a rerun?
Have you never seen that? Every single stream, people are.
Oh well, yeah.
Troll people.
I mean,
not many people fall for it, but I still like
be more creative.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
We need new memes. Good damage already being found. Dennis able to go ahead and pick up a quick headshot alongside Favin, who's able to get one as well. A single trade, all that's allowed so far up to this point for Kinguin. And sadly, as we can see, a couple of players being brought down extremely low means it is looking to be another round win for Sprout. Unless Miniz and Taz can manage to recover. It's a 2-on-3, so it's not completely out of the question. And of course, as I say that, Miniz is able to find himself another kill. Comes in with a third on towards Spiddy. I wanted to avoid that word because of my accent, but it had to be said. And with that, it is only Percy now who's alive. He's going to be rotating in from B, but he has 2 players to try and deal with. And he also does not have a defuse kit currently in his possession.
Percy, without that kit, is going to be suffering a little bit. Taken down from above. Miniz takes his head clean off. And that's 5-4. With these smooth angles. Beautiful. You see the CTs buying up a couple of pistols there, but you ain't going to see any rifles on their backs. At least I would hope not. Oh, hold on. Favin bought all the way down. Was that miscommunication? I don't know. Percy on 2,700, Dennis 1,550, NATO 1,000, Spiddy 450, Favin 0. What is going on with that buy?
It's a little bit of a mix and mash, but let's see if they can make it work. They have the pistols at least. Favin going to be boosted up, and Deeg hits a quick headshot on the Miniz. Again, it's his head that's actually in pain. 5-on-4 to be found. Sadly, the weapon isn't going to be retrievable, of course, but they are going to try and flash through off the back of it. They want to try and find more kills, but it's not going to be allowed. Favin actually does double down, but again, the trade easily being brought back in. It's the Mach 10 to go ahead and bring that one back to equalize the situation in terms of the manpower. It's a 3-on-3. 33 and a third.
I would say that his head probably wasn't in pain, though. Miniz. I mean, I doubt you feel very much after being shot in the head. At least not for too long. Percy's got a deagle, and he's got the A-bomb site. He's got his back turned towards Ivy, which is where 3 players are walking out with AK-47s. Let's see how this story's going to end. Is Percy going to live the dream, or is he about to be thrown into a nightmare as he takes the peek over the train? A lot of damage done. That's a lot of damage, but Ro1 takes Percy down in the end. As Mazzino survives with 34 HP to see another minute, perhaps not another day. As they make their way towards the bomb site, CZs are up close, and that could get very dangerous indeed. NATO spamming through. It doesn't pay to spray, not with the CZ anyways, as the bomb eventually goes down. Taz is low. It's all on Ro1. If he can drop him, don't even need to finish that sentence. It's 5-5.
Indeed it is. Equalized in terms of the scoreline right now. Is going to favour Team Kinguin, of course, being on the D side, and also with the fact that Sprout now are going to be forced to go for the eco. As we said, it was an interesting buy in the previous round with some players fully invested, some not quite. And into this one now, it's just going to be some upgraded pistols and 3 grenades. So perhaps a little bit of a nade stack early on. Normally you'll see those thrown in towards the A main position, and that is going to be the case, I believe. But will it be effective is the question. Taz could definitely be caught off guard. Brought down to 66, but he is still going to advance forward with the Mach 10. Favin, he's going to be the first victim, although he is the only victim in this round of Taz, at least, because kills coming in elsewhere from Rallen and Maniz, as it is now down to just NATO, Safix, and Percy.
Oh, Mauzino gets the double to finish things off. No more weapons shall be dropped for the Kinguin side. Lots of money, though, over on the Sprout team. Six to 5. Kinguin up ahead. And the thing is now, Sprout are back on that double up setup. We've seen a bit of success for this before. Is it going to happen again? That's the question, Dean. Question we got to ask ourselves.
We'll find out the answer quite soon, as already we do see the commitment towards the A-bomb site. Team Kinguin are going to be going very quickly. Favin being the only one who could really spot Ivy, and sadly he wasn't doing so. That gives Rallen the opportunity, a perfect flash to go ahead and force NATO Safix off the angle. But luckily enough, it's Speedy to come in and step it up. He finds the double spray down on the FAMAS. But as we can see, so much damage has been done towards either side. Speedy and NATO Safix are both just barely hanging on to life. Internal bleeding, perhaps you could say, as they are both down to the red position in terms of the HP. Let's see, because Mozinho with this bomb, he's going to be the one that has to try and plant it. The problem is they don't know where Sprout are currently positioned, so they have to be very cautious.
Maniz and Mozinho, low HP on both. Spitty coming in, he's had some big rounds. He was a really impactful player over on the previous map, although it was Favin top frag it. Spitty was right behind, but now he's down. Maybe not on kills, maybe not on the scoreboard, but on the floor in this round. As Dennis gets dropped as well, an AWP to be picked up. A very cautious Mozinho presses E only when he's sure it will work. 7 to 5. I'm actually really surprised, though, that that hasn't been fixed, the E button, by now. It's been out like 5 years.
I think it's just a clipping issue wherever, it depends where the weapon is.
Yeah. Yeah. Clipping is a pretty hard thing for devs, though, in general. I've seen that in a couple of the games. Like talking with devs, it's like it's a really hard thing to get right. Oh no, Maniz. He's in so much trouble. I didn't just hit my legs, don't worry. I thought he was going to get taken down by those pistols up close. Got to get out of there. CC's are pushing in. Maniz is getting a couple of kills. And Reitz is there to help him out, at least he was. With an AK drop, they need to go back over there to make sure no weapons are saved over. A lot of damage being done already as we're into a 3 versus 1. Not even flex tape can fix the holes in Spitty's body as he's taken down by Mouzino. It's an 8th round for Kinguin, who are looking very strong. They may be old, but they're good. And actually, there was a new flex tape video recently, if you check John Tron's channel. So it's not that old.
The damage one was very old.
It is, but it's a good one. It may not be a fresh meme, but it's like, it's got lots of salt in it. You know, they used to put meat and salt instead of a fridge.
Preservative.
There you go. Just for those people out there that don't know, Dean, I'm not necessarily explaining to you. Some people might, I don't know, all right? Dean, come on.
8 to 5, Mitch. Focus on the game. God damn it. But yeah, it's looking good for Kinguin. As we said, of course, they got the victory back on Nuke, coming into their own map choice now. They're looking very solid so far on the D-side of train, as this is potentially the last gun round of this half for Sprout. If they can't make this one work, we could be looking at Team Kinguin reaching double digits on their D-side, which would not fare well for Sprout at all. But let's see, they have the double up setup. They have the AUG on the Spitty as well. That's a weapon that he's been actually showing very good performances with lately. And it looks like the commitment is going to come in now towards that B bomb site. Spitty being blinded up immediately means he is going to fall victim to Rallen, who actually does also find NATO Safix in the process. And it looks like with that being found, the 2-man advantage, Sprout decide, we should just run away, guys. There's not much we can do. Retreat back into the ground.
Perhaps a little bit difficult to get into the ground in CSGO outside of no clip, which I not that I've read the tournament rules specifically, but I'm pretty sure it's not allowed. looking at the last round, you know, they'll have an AWP, 2 M4s coming into that. Won't necessarily be the worst situation in the world for them on the Sprout side. But, I mean, giving over 9 rounds to Kinguin on the T still isn't ideal. Definitely not the... Whoop. Okay. Dennis getting taken down. It's looking likely there'll be a 10th. I mean, the AWP removed from this situation now leaves them on 2 M4s. They'll be able to drop over 2 more M4s and take up a FAMAS. But the off's been such a pivotal part of the rounds that Sprout have actually won. Now they're in a situation where they've got to play with the rifles and the FAMAS. The utility at least is up there. That's the one upside.
Yeah, that is a positive. It's not the worst of buys, as we said. Of course, only the only weakness really is that FAMAS. Not having the up, not ideal, but it's something they can make work. They need this 6th round pretty much if they want to make this somewhat of a respectable half. And as you can see, Favin getting very aggressive. Absolutely zero backup. Even if he does manage to get 1 kill there, it's likely, as we've seen from Kinguin, that they do have more than 1 player pushing up to Ivy. So it's just an interesting push from Favin to go alone. I would have preferred if he was so determined to go for it that he brought a teammate up with him so that they could at least have a chance to try and return on that frag. But a man advantage for Kinguin again. Sure, Reitz is brought down low, but as you can see with Maniz also been able to find 1. It's only 3 players now who are going to be surviving on that Sprout side to try and recover this round. And it's just not happening at all. Kills continue to go across the board for Team Kinguin very convincingly.
With only NATO left alive, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of faith in this going his way. And that's why. Looking at that half overall, I mean, strong performance from pretty much everybody on Kinguin. Taz a little bit slow to start, but hell, he didn't need to. You know, just playing that support role, that was all that was needed. The trades were going in pretty consistently. Highlighting there, Ro1 and Maniz, they were able to get some pretty solid performance across the board. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about Kinguin. That's what we said. You know, we expect him to have a strong performance. 10 rounds on the T side. That's a very difficult position to recover now for Sprout. Yeah,
Taz being the in-game leader as well, I do just want to go back to that for a moment. So he definitely was someone who's had a lot of impact, even if it wasn't in terms of the frags. But yeah, 10 rounds on the T side for Kinguin of Train. That's just going to be so difficult now for Sprout to try and come back from. Of course, after losing that first map, if they do end up losing Train here, that will be the end of their road towards the major. They will be eliminated. This is the lower bracket. Of course, they fell to North yesterday in what was also a very convincing victory, or I guess in the case of Sprout, a very convincing loss.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a very, very disappointing map. Overall, just worth mentioning on Taz, I mean, he was 5 for 10 at the end. It's not like he's dying a ridiculous amount of times. Putting up a decent performance overall, at least. And again, the trades were there. That was something we saw from Kinguin throughout that half. Just constantly able to get the trades in. And coming out on top in these rounds by a pretty significant margin. Now, 10-5. Starting at the pistol round, Kinguin getting a couple kills to start it off. That's a little bit awkward, but Taz is getting the work done here with the C's. Okay, he's got to get a reload. Hold on. Just, yep, there we go. No, okay, Favin's still alive. He's on 10 HP. Oh, he's just let down Reitz. He could actually win this. I'm memeing, but it's 14 HP between these 2 players. 1 Glock shot each. He's not aware that there's a head peeking just above him. Roland's going to rotate around. He's got the bomb in hand and catches him off guard. Misses the shot. That was risky. Headshot connected, though, eventually. It's 11-5. Pistol round, 1 out by Kinguin.
It is indeed. They increase the lead even further. And the hopes of Sprout, they're beginning to get crushed. I would say maybe Team Kinguin right now are using Weed Killer. Not going to allow for it to grow.
No, they're not letting anything grow, whether it be the economy of Sprout or the hopes and dreams. They're cutting them all down.
And it shouldn't be much of a chance in this round either for Sprout. It's just Glocks that they have to work with. A quick B rush again. Train is a map where you can have a pretty easy chance of getting that bomb planted, but apparently not when Reitz is there to defend alongside Taz, as it is completely locked down. And we see a 12-5 lead, a 7-round deficit now for Sprout to try and overcome if they want to work their way back into this game. Gonna get the guns out now, of course, but they need this gun round. If they don't find this, the game is just looking way too far gone. We'd likely see Kinguin sitting 14-5.
Indeed. That would not be an optimal situation. The thing is, if Kinguin win this, they've got the economy built up as well. Even if they lose, they can still get a bye, and if they win, then Sprout are going to be in a position where it's almost impossible for them to really come back into it, fighting against such a strong buy pretty consistently. Mini's already been lit down low on the CT side, though, is at least a glimmer of hope for Sprout, who've got the better hardware coming into this round. Trades go down, though, over towards... Oh, no, Mazzino. I thought he was going to get a lot more done there. 2 versus 3. Ro1 and Reitz try to clutch this out. At least low HP on Percy to start things off. Off guard. Favin is caught as the bomb goes down. Never mind, it goes down on the floor, not planted. What is that? Just the kills come everywhere. Ro1 finds the bomb planter is not being covered. Reitz is dropping them as well, and it's just a disaster for Sprout. They shouldn't be losing that round.
8 rounds now. That's what Sprout are going to be behind by, and it should be 9 in just a moment. They've gone ahead and got some pistols and Kevlar at least into this one, but of course their chances of picking up this round are not optimal. So if they don't manage to pull off this force buy, then they're in a position where after they get the guns out, they will have to be flawless if they want to be able to take the victory here on train to try and actually send it over towards the decider, which of course I believe will be Dust 2 if needed, but it's not looking likely. I don't think we're going to be making it that far, Mitch. It is of course Team Kinguin making this look quite easy, I would like to say, so far.
Yeah, it is indeed. It's continuing to look convincing for Team Kinguin. As Sprout lose a player there early on, they've got a little bit of control towards Ivy, but as you can see, Ro1's going to be holding that down, taking them long range with the AUG. Should be an easy kill connect, and actually NATO manages to find one. Went out over towards the green train. He's being spammed down, though, taken out, and it's all on Favin. A little bit of damage, but with the economy looking good for Kinguin, they can lose 2 players. It's no problem at all. The reinvestment shouldn't be too impactful for them. 14-5. How you feeling, Dean? Do you think Sprout are going to come back into this? This is their last chance, really.
No,
lose this bye round, it's all over.
I'm not confident at all. I think this has now been 11 rounds in a row for Team Kinguin, because I'm pretty sure it was 5-3 for Sprout.
Yeah, that does sound about right. Yep, it was 5-3.
They've just been completely destroying them, basically, since they were able to get those guns back out. So Sprout haven't been shown as much these past couple of days, and it seems to continue on like that. 2 rounds now away from elimination out with this closed qualifier, and as I said before, their hopes and dreams of making it to the minor and in turn afterwards potentially the major are looking to be completely shattered. Mazzino, a little bit afraid that someone was positioned in the smoke behind them, is being cautious of it, decides to fall back off and just give up the pop dog control for now. Not going to Void to try and keep it under his possession, and actually Dennis going to go ahead and pop flash his way out of A main, allowing for the opening kill to be found onto Mazzino, catching him in rotation back from the pop dog position rather, and a 5-on-4, the best it's looked for Sprout in quite a while.
Yeah, this is their chance to keep themselves alive. 14-5. If they can find this, they start to build an economy. Kinguin have got a decent one, though, so they will still get a bye in the next round. So, again, even though it's a long road, they've got to find a total of 9 in a row before they even tie scores with Kinguin. They also need to find 2 bye rounds in a row before they can even start to build them up and face against an easier economy, the likes of a force buy or probably even the eco from Kinguin. One more player going to be dropped, though. That's Maniz down. He's lying on the floor, taking some weight off his feet. As Taz tries to hold down, he gets a quick kill, but nothing else to be connected. A 2 versus 3. Reitz and Ro1 bringing it back to a 2v2. Reitz has got a Molotov being deployed. That's going to stop him from getting away all too easily, but Spitty comes up behind, takes Reitz down, leaving it all onto the other ore, the Ro1. Oh, that hurts.
Leg down, yeah. Definitely hurts. Being shot right in the knees.
Right into knees.
Say, yeah. Ro1, though, this is unlikely he's going to be able to pull this off, especially with just the crossfire being set up. Players on both sides. Even if he did find one, it was likely the peak would instantly come in. And he is indeed going to be shut down by Spitty, who had a lot of impact on that flank. If it wasn't for him, Reitz would have had the chance to find more kills there, and it could have definitely unraveled for Sprout. But as we can see, of course, they do manage to get themselves a 6th round. 14-6, so it's still a very long road ahead. And if we look at the economy of Kinguin, it's actually not great. I would like to see them take 1 eco here and just upgrade some pistols. They have such a massive lead that I feel like they don't need to force the issue.
Yeah, no, I think the pistols here is going to be just fine. Pick up the CZs, play close range angles, and you see it a lot, whether it's pushing the B ramp, taking pop dog control with 2 players, or doing both. Either one going to be acceptable. in this situation, probably the optimal solution. No CZs out just yet. Come on, Taz. You like your CZ. You like your yellow jacket. God damn it. All right. They've got Deagles, though. Deagles are just fine as well. I like the CZ plays, though, because it tends to catch them off guard. You know, Sprout, obviously, in the aim duels here, the long-range ones, they're going to be looking pretty good with the AKs and the AWP as well.
Yeah. The goal here for Kinguin really just try and drop as many of these weapons as they can. If they can get 2 to 3 kills, they could still keep Sprout in a position where if they were to just win one round, they'd force them down to an eco, and of course Sprout wouldn't be able to afford to take that eco, so it would be detrimental to them. Dennis with the opening kill, somehow it was a body shot that finished him off, and Percy and Favin also going to be able to find some aggression to go ahead and put this round heavily in favor of Sprout. It's only Taz who remains. If he can find 1 or 2, as I said, it would be decent, but I don't think that's going to be allowed, and I believe he has been spotted, and it wasn't even the nade that was needed to do it. It is instead Dennis who comes in and cleans up. Sprout going to find a 7th round as they now do work with half of the scoreline of their opponents. Not great.
Not great at all. 14 to 7. Sprout at least built up some economy, so if Kinguin win, they won't be just flat reset, it won't be an eco. It puts them in somewhat of a positive position. Glass being broken indicates nades towards A. Mani's going to be taken down early on by Dennis. He's looking for a second, but taken down by Taz. Now they've got the information. There were players out towards A. Taz is spotting out that nobody's here anymore. His spidey senses going to start to tingle. Thing is, Sprout have backed off, but I think they're setting up for smokes by the looks of things. Either that or NATO's holding Ivy. Medlin looks like he's holding Ivy with an AWP.
Yeah, he is indeed, but let's see, the 4-on-4. What is the plan going to be for Sprout now? They still have a lot of time to work with, so they're not really in too much of a rush to make a decision about where they want to actually take this as a commitment. But they are going to have to do so pretty soon. It looks like, at least for now, they are going to be maybe trying to favor towards an A split. 2 players towards Ivy, 1 in A main, and then, of course, we do have Faven above Pop Dog, actually looking to maybe try and put a bit of presence towards B and hope to pull some rotations. But there is actually only Taz, and I believe that's Mozinho alongside him there to try and defend that A-bomb site. So it could be a very good hit coming in from Sprout if they can find these opening shots, and that's exactly what's going to go in for Spiddy. He actually managed to double down as he drops Taz as well. And now Ro1, although he does come in with the Yogg trying to save the day, he suffers a very similar fate to his 2 previous teammates on that A-bomb site, as it's Spiddy who just continues to rack up the frags. It's all on Reitz, and of course with a 1-on-4, he doesn't want much to do with the remainder of this round. His goal is just to save the M4.
No, without even a kit, there's literally no point in going for this. If he just peeks out towards upper right now, he's going to see Favin. Oh no, Favin's right below upper, walking along Oil Train. Never mind. Looked on the map. I think
he's upper now, though.
It quite clearly looks like.
Oh, he's gone into the spawn. They are not sure where Reitz is.
No, they have no info at all, but I think he'll catch Percy. Oh no, Percy's checking it. He's being caught. But the thing is now, Reitz should be safe to save that. Favin's running like hell to try and catch up with him and take him down, but I don't think he's going to make it there in time. No. And so 14 to 8, Sprout have managed to pick themselves up yet another round. They're closing in the gap. We saw this with LDLC and ENCE. They closed it in from a 15 to 6 scoreline all the way up to 16-13. But I feel like it's the same as back then, right? It's just, it's too late. Sprout needed to step it up quite a while back.
Yeah.
Now one single mistake, one peek into an op at the start of a round, and then trades from that point forward, and that's it. It's all over. But consistently finding the opening kills, a 1-for-1 trade, perfectly fine for Sprout, especially considering the damage done onto Reitz in the process.
Dennis going to be able to catch Ro1 and getting aggressive as well, so they should have a pretty easy time from this point forward, shutting down the eco round. The AK now being dropped out of hands of Reitz as well, leaving only Mozinho playing around this bomb site with a Deagle. Let's see if he can get much done. Even at this point, damage isn't really an issue because, as we said, of course, Sprout in a position now where they have the economy built up and they don't really need to reinvest for many rounds. If they were to lose one, they'd only have a chance to try and actually manage to pull it back to overtime from that point forward. So there we have it, closed out by Faven. 14-9, as Sprout are getting ever so close. Only 5 rounds now in the difference. They're beginning to close in this gap. But a buy, again, is going to be available for Team Kinguin. It's going to be Maniz back on the op, a couple of AUGs, the M4s in play, and a decent amount of utility as well to back it up. So let's see, Kinguin, can they finally bring themselves up to that coveted map point, and also at this, I wanted to say point as well, but that would sound stupid, serious point, because they are already up by 1 map after taking that victory back on Nuke.
2 players in towards Pop Dog early on. Kinguin trying to change things up, see what they can do. Hoping that the aggression comes down, and looking at the Molotovs and the smokes being set up here by the spread side, it's quite likely that they drop down here. A flashbang perhaps to go down first. Favin just waiting for any form of aggression. His teammate now rotating back over. I believe that's Percy. That's with him, pretty close to him, just around that corner. And Percy's got himself a smoke, no flashbang, so he won't be any use in that front.
Yeah, slow round so far coming in from Sprout, waiting, I guess, for the aggression to come in, seeing if they can catch it, and there definitely is a potential. Oh, Mozinho, just as he begun to push forward there in towards Pop Dog alongside Taz, that's when we do, of course, see Favin go ahead and actually take his crosshair off the angle. So his opportunity there, sadly going to be missed, but it is now 40 seconds. They need to get a move on very soon. I'd imagine with their current positioning, they're probably going to take it towards A, because the bomb has been left all the way back towards A main, so it's not really possible for them to run that towards B, and if they were to do so, they'd be left with very little time to actually commit onto the bomb site. So here we go, the commitment now going to be trying to come in. Taz and Mozinho to find the opening kills. They're shutting down this Pop Dog drop, and it is now going to be only Spiddy and NATO Sapix to try and save the day. Again, Spiddy, as he emerges from Ivy, is able to find the opening kill, but there's not a lot he can do when he's the last man left standing, and with 8 seconds and the bomb way too far away from him, we wouldn't even be able to get close to it before the time ran out. There you have it. Map point and serious point is finally going to be found by Team Kinguin. Spiddy just about saves. That could have been a little bit dangerous. It wouldn't have been a big issue since his economy would have been enough to buy even without the loss bonus. But here we go. 6 rounds in a row now is what Sprout need to try and take this into overtime. Not only are they trying to get the comeback here on train, even if they do manage to pull it back to overtime and eventually get the victory, they still have a 3rd map to try and deal with.
And that's it, right? You've got those kind of... You got to look at the mentality of both players at this point. Both teams, rather, at this point. Sprout have that kind of, we need to win this, and we get to overtime. Then we got to win overtime, and we got to get the 2nd map, and then we got to win the 3rd map.
3rd map,
they're second. They're 2, right? But then the whole thing for Kinguin is 1 more round, boys. Even if it's closed in, even if it's 15-14, 1 more round, and they win, and they're straight through. That's the kind of problem in this situation, you know. Sprout have got such a long road ahead of them mentally, and they know that even just 1 mistake and it's over. Their buy isn't bad. Of course, they've got that solid economy built up. But at the same time, you know, it is all about that mental game, right? It's stacking up on them right now. Kinguin have been good on the CT side, and Mataz finding the opening, things start to look a whole lot worse. The winner of this goes on to take on Vitality in the next round. The winner of this series, and it's looking like it may be Kinguin, a 4 versus 3. NATO Safix on the AWP. He's going to find the kill onto Ro1. As Percy tries to push out, they need to find more kills to keep their team alive. A 3v3 is good, though. It spreads that defense a little bit more thinly. At the moment, they're going to detect that perhaps Kinguin, or perhaps Sprout, rather, are pushed out towards A. They know that Ivy was lost.
Indeed it was. 3-on-3 though, still a recoverable position here from Sprout. You can see NATO Safix on the up look and tempted to peek out of A main. I was going to say Maniz had the angle held perfectly, but it was actually a little bit more passive there from NATO. He doesn't push forward, instead decides it's best to fall back off. But Spiddy again, he's able to creep out of Ivy. We've seen him do this so many times and been able to actually exploit this backline's position. Taz going to be taken down. And with that, Maniz is going to fall back in through connector now into a relatively safe position, I suppose. But the problem is they've pretty much just given up that A-bomb site now. Sprout in a good spot here to try and take themselves this round and grab a lifeline for them to work with, as it is going to be a completely open A-bomb site for them to go ahead and find that plant on.
As to whether the retake's even going to be attempted or not is up for contention. It's up for debate. An M4 and an AWP, pretty valuable considering that next round they won't really have the money to get a proper buy. It looks like they are just going to go for the save. which means Sprout have secured themselves at least double digits. Again, usually these are close matchups between these two teams, but on both maps, sorry, on this map, Kinguin have just got off to such a strong start. On the previous one, Sprout just fell flat on their second half.
Double digits for Sprout though, so getting a little bit closer here to being able to pull it into overtime. It's going to be 5 more rounds that they need. It's definitely doable, but it's not going to be easy. At least coming into this next round now, they shouldn't be up against a full buy. Mozinho is on a double eco, but I would imagine they probably will just take this one eco, allow for Meniz to just try and get something done with the AWP, but you never know. I don't want to see them force buy just because of the fact that they still have 5 rounds to work with to try and close this out. I want to see them just get as strong of a buy as they can.
Meniz needs to find some openings, I suppose, now with this AWP. Wouldn't even be too bad if he ended up saving it over, to be honest.
Yeah, that could be useful, because then he could also drop a rifle to Mozinho, who's a little bit low on money, but... Oh, Mozinho actually invested even more. He's down to 950, but let's see, because it is an opening kill to be found by Meniz indeed. You said he needed to find one, and he goes ahead and does so as he takes down Dennis in towards a main. That's a weapon now, potentially, that can also be retrieved, as they are going to push their way in. A smoke to be placed down, and an AK to be picked up, as with the man advantage and an extra weapon now in their hands, Team Kinguin are actually looking pretty solid in this round.
Sprout have got to be super careful at this point. Not even trades will be enough for them with that man advantage. Molotov goes down. Ro1's gone up the ladder. They don't know this just yet. He follows them up. Taken down, though. The inaccuracy on the ladder just a little bit too much for him. A valiant attempt, but that's the man advantage now given away. Trade it back to a 4 versus 4. Sprout look to take things towards A. Kinguin are stacked up on B as well. It's not going to help them too much, really. Molotov goes down. It's only the one player to hold down here. That's Mozinho, player without armor and just a 5-7 in his hands. They may just angle towards saving these weapons. Sprout will probably go and hunt down, so if they do try to save, those pistols may be able to upgrade to it may even be able to upgrade further to a rifle, which would certainly help a player like Meniz. He'll probably take that AK from Taz anyways afterwards, provided it's saved over, because just with $950, there's not a whole lot we can really expect him to do.
Yeah, exactly. So overall, Kinguin can be very happy with this round. You can see actually Sprout do want to try and hunt this down, knowing that of course those weapons being saved over will boost the buy in the next round. And Taz sadly not able to connect the shot. Mozinho going to be taken down as well, so the AK isn't saved. But another off is picked up, even better.
That's huge. That is huge for Kinguin right now. 2 free ops is going to save them enough money that in the next round they can even get like a decent buy. It just boosts them so far ahead. They actually go fully in. Full utility. AUG's coming out. They've got the double ops obviously saved over. But it's worthwhile because they get this like half price buy, right? It's insane. It's the Christmas sales. There's the bang onto Dennis. There it is. Oh, didn't connect that time. The Molotov that lights him up there. 15-11, one more round for Team Kinguin. And we're going to see them moving on to play Vitality in the next round. Sprout got to bring this to a 3rd map. Oh, hit in the head. Spitty. That's worse than a hangover. Need to get him some paracetamol. That's, well, I think it's more than a concussion. Frag grenade to the head.
Don't let Spitty go asleep. But yeah, there's some good damage early on. Dennis and Spitty both being tagged down pretty low. A nice nade at least comes in and actually does damage Taz quite heavily, alongside Mozinho, who's slightly chipped away at in terms of the health. But let's see, because Sprout are going to be grouping up now. Their goal looks to be this B bomb site. It's going to be Reitz alongside Meniz, who are going to be in position to try and hold it down. And let's see if they're going to be successful. The flash towards ramp finds them quite a lot of info. With that now, they can call for the rotation to come in. And Molotov to delay that push a little bit further as well. So for now, Sprout are going to be held at bay. Just looking very awkward. Time pretty soon is going to become a real issue. Here we go. Reith now knows that the commitment is going to be towards this B-bomb site. That's going to be it. The rotation now called for him, and he's going to be pushing forward of the smoke. Although he's not going to be successful in connecting that immediate shot. Losing his teammate now as well. He's under so much pressure. Connects the first one, but he's somehow still alive. Eventually falls to Favin. And with that now, we should see Sprout being able to find themselves a 12th round as Rallen and Taz, they back away.
Sprout winning out those Angels, very, very important for them. The trades going in as well, taking Maniz down. He could have had a lot of damage over towards that B-bomb site. That was unintentional that time. He could have had a lot of impact over towards the B-bomb site, you know, creeping around there. Luckily, there was a player over towards Catwalk, or Heaven, able to take him down. And with that, oh, Taz trying to save over. The AUG might not be so successful. They all push him down and take him down. It's Ro1 with the AWP. This is a very important gun to save over.
He got really deep there. Push him down and take him down.
Take him down.
That's what it was like.
Oh, no.
You get very high.
No.
Oh,
no.
Yeah, is going to be dropped. Unlucky for Ro1. No one to be saved. Not the biggest of deals, I guess, because they wouldn't have been buying into this round around the up either way. So they are just going to go ahead and take the eco. But that gives a good chance here for Sprout, because now they're likely going to find the 13th round, as we should see the eco in this one, maybe even just a couple upgraded pistols for Team Kinguin. So there's pretty much just one more gun round for Kinguin here. If they don't manage to make this next gun round work, then there's a high probability rather that we are going to see Sprout managing to take this one into overtime. So it's getting very risky here for Kinguin. Sprout doing a great job again at recovering things.
Yeah, indeed, keeping themselves in it. Mentally fort. Mental fortitude.
Fortitude, yeah.
Mentally fort. Mentally a fort. Mentally strong. Let's go with that.
You are confusing me. What are you trying to say?
It's a different tense of mental fortitude. It's like they are mentally fort. I don't know. I feel like it's a thing. All right. It is now. That's all I can say. 15 to 12. Team Kinguin on the pretty weak pistols. Taz got a CZ and armor. Everybody else without armor. They're squishy. Easily kicked. Oh, how does he know? Taz. This is looking good. 2 kills on the board already. That's good damage. Unfortunately, traded straight back as Mazzino gets dropped. Reeds finds it. 2 versus 2. Weapons on offer to be picked up as well. Special offer. If you get there, you get it for free. It's like looting.
That was it was a 2-for-1 for Dennis, but it wasn't enough. Let's see, though. It is going to be a commitment onto the A-bomb site. No, they have the advantage in terms of the weaponry, but the problem is Ro1 and Reeds do have Deagle. It's going to be playing up close to the bomb train is Ro1. Smoke goes down. He may have a chance to try and actually deny the bomb plant. Goes ahead and takes down NATO Safix, and now it's all onto Faven to try and save the day. No way did they lose this game like this one. They would be taken down by just the pistols. It would be so upsetting. Faven trying to come in and try and clutch this out, but the problem is he does not know where the second player is positioned, but eventually he comes in and takes down Reeds. All on Ro1 now, but he retrieved the AK and he finds the headshot from behind. There it is. Kinguin close it out off the back of pretty much a full eco. That's one way to lose things, bro.
That's one pretty bad way to lose things. Kinguin coming in with a great performance across both maps. Sprout had the comeback. It was looking fantastic, and I really didn't count that as the round they were going to lose.
No.
That's disappointing. I mean, just taking a look at the stats, you know, 26 kills on Reeds. My phone brightness has gone all the way down, so I can barely read the scoreboard. But that's fine. Reeds did well. That's all. We'll just talk about Reeds. How good was he?
Overall, Kinguin done a very good job.
Yeah, just it was a well-rounded one, right? And,
yeah.
And that's what we've said before about Kinguin over on the previous map as well. It was pretty tight-knit. And just putting up that dominant performance. Last couple of rounds did get scary. I mean, Sprout really did stick that comeback. But again, just too slow to get started.
They were one gun round pretty much away from being able to take it into overtime, but they didn't even manage to get to that gun round.
Yeah. And that's
against the pistol. It's just so heartbreaking.
It is. And we saw that yesterday as well, right? Where the USPs finished off a game.
Yeah, I believe so. But of course, that means Sprout are eliminated.
Yeah.
Their hopes of being able to qualify to the European Minor are now 0, as that is not going to happen. And it means that Team Kinguin do move on to take on, I believe, Vitality in the next round.
Indeed it is. Vitality and Kinguin will be coming up soon. I think that's going to be the second game. Not too sure what we're going with first, but we're going to be gone. That's the end of myself and Dean for the qualifiers. It's going to be Hawke and Toldersmat taking you through the rest of the day for the EU one. So be sure to stay tuned. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, well, a while anyways. Whenever the next game is, go on HLTV and find out. But until then, here's a break. Goodbye.
Slán.